Set the Pilates posture, set neutral spine before we start. Okay. Feet under the hips, standing up nice and tall. Like a piece of string is pulling the top of your head up towards the ceiling. Let's straighten out all those kinks. You need to lift your shoulders, roll them back, pull them down, and then hold them there. Draw strength from behind your belly button now, pulling in but not holding your breath. And that final adjustment is your tailbone. We tuck it under to bring your lumbar spine into alignment. Hold these 3 places. Focus on your breathing. I want you to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. On the inhale, really fill up those lungs as much as you can. And then on the exhale, get rid of everything you took in. Keep it going. All right, hold it there. Nod your chin to your chest. Now lift your chin, eyes to the ceiling. Let the head fall back. And again, nod the chin. Dropping it forward. Then lifting it up, eyes to the ceiling. Down to the chest. Up to the ceiling. This time down to the chest and keep curling. So the chin nods, the shoulders come forward, we're curling through the back. We're rolling down through the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Go down as far as you can, relax the head at the bottom, and then start to peel and curl up to the top. Starting behind your belly button, curling through the spine, keep the chin tucked into the chest. It's the last thing that comes up. And again, nod the chin. We're going to roll down. Curling, taking that time. Support the hands on the legs if you need to. Take that second at the bottom and then release and come up. Last thing to come up is the chin. We're going down 1 more time and then we're going to walk out to plank. So nod, roll, curl down. If you need to bend your legs at the bottom to reach the floor, do so. Now walk your hands forward until you come into plank position. Now lower your body with your elbows staying close by the sides, all the way down to the floor. Soften your toes now. Take a breath in. Exhale and lift the chest. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. Inhale and lower. Now push all the way away from the floor, coming into child's pose. Hips are back, arms are reaching forward. Nice stretch here. And come up to all fours. Curl your toes under. Lift the hips and come into down dog. Straightening up those legs, pushing the heels towards the floor to get a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. Push the chest towards the toes to get a stretch into the back of the body. Imagine somebody is standing behind you, pulling your hips up to the ceiling to really lengthen. Release and take 1 step forward. Doesn't really matter which leg you choose. 1 step forward so you're in a nice long runner's lunge. You have your hands either side of that front foot. If at any point this gets too much, I just simply want you to lower your back knee to the floor and you are there. Take the hand on the outside of the foot. Pick it up and rotate the chest to open out to the side. Remember, you have that option to lower your back knee to the floor if you need to. Now bring that arm down, but place it on the inside of that front foot. So both hands are side by side. You're going to pick up the other hand this time and open out the other way. Lots of activation through the core to keep you nice and steady. Bring that hand down. Split the leg again. So one hand either side, and step that leg back. Now step the other leg forward, in between the hands. Take a few shuffles to get there if you need to. We're picking up the outside hand first. So it comes up, we rotate the chest. The shoulder is stacked above the other shoulder and the arm reaching straight up. So if you are only here because that's how much you can rotate, then the arm is an extension of your shoulder. Bring that arm down, but place it on the inside of the foot. Pick up the other hand, stabilize with the tummy and rotate the other way. Just breathing as we move through these stretches. Bring that hand down. Split the leg again, one hand either side, and step back into plank. Lower the chest to the floor, lowering the body, arms are close, all the way down, soften the toes. Breathe in, exhale and lift the chest, breathe out. And again, breathe in and lower. Exhale and lift. Piece of string pulling through the top of your head. And lower, inhale. Push all the way away from the floor. Exhale and drop into child's pose. Nice long reach forward with those arms. And relax. Good job. All right, nice little sequence to sort of get round the body and give everything a little bit of a wake up. So we'll start on our bottom. Legs are forward and straight. We'll start with spine stretch forward. Arms forward from the shoulders. Take a little inhale. Exhale and push the arms forward, keeping the back straight. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push. I'm just going to quickly spin sideways so you can see. Inhale, push, and exhale. Just working on that flexibility for the hamstrings. And relax. Take the legs wide. Doesn't matter how wide, but definitely wider than your mat. Taking your arms out wide, this is the saw. We'll take the opposite little finger to the opposite little toe with two little reaches and two little breaths. Try to keep the arms wide as opposed to this, because this is going to get less rotation for the spine, which is what we're trying to do. All right, keep the arms wide, breathe in, rotate, reach, exhale twice, breathe in, back to center, other side. One more each side. And relax. Anybody else's arms feel heavy after Tabata yesterday? Okay, place those hands on the floor in front of you, still with the legs nice and wide. Take a breath in. Exhale and slide them forward as far as you can, allowing the chest to come forward. Dropping, really opening up through those inside thighs. Breathe in and slide up. Let's do that one more time. And then exhale and slide forward. And slide back up to sitting. And we'll lay ourselves down. So I'm going to spin my mat because it's always better that you can see what my body is doing. But you can stay the same way if you wish. Okay. Relax from your waist. So everything above your belly button, you're just going to try to relax that. You've got your feet hip width apart, 6 or 8 inches from your bottom. And we are pelvic tilting. Draw the belly button down. Allow those butt cheeks to lift off the floor just a tiny bit. And then switch directions and pull the pubic bone down to the floor and allow for there to be an increase of gap in your lower back. And pull the belly button down. It's a very focused move. I want you to think about what muscles are working here. Think about not releasing one and then pulling the other way. I want you to think about your body like a seesaw. You're pulling and then you switch the other end of the muscle and you pull the other way. Okay, find the center of those two movements. This is neutral spine. Slide your left leg long. Place your fingertips, so the elbows bend, and you place your fingertips just underneath your hips. Imagine there's a piece of string pulling your chin, and we're going to lift the head, the chest, and lift the piece of string pulling your chin and release. And lift. Good. Exhale as you come up. If this is too much, just place one hand behind the back of the head. Let's do one more. Rest the head, switch the legs. This time take the hands out and reach them down the sides of your body. And same lift. Now your hands are not trapped. It should feel slightly different, even that you have maybe just a little bit more range to come up an inch higher. Always that option for the hand to take the pressure off the neck like this. It's totally okay. Let's just do one more. And relax. Hug the knees into the chest. Give them a tiny little circle if it feels good to. And take those legs up to the ceiling. Feet are side by side. Legs as straight as possible. And now turn your toes out. So you have Charlie Chaplin feet. Feel that rotation coming down through the knees into the hips. Your legs are working hard even now. So if this feels like work and your legs are shaking, it's totally okay. Point your toes and exhale. Flex and inhale. Point and exhale. and flex. Keep that going. Really exaggerate your point and flex and really elongate your breath. All right, come back to that flex position. Keeping the flex. If you need to, you're going to pop your hands just underneath your bottom. We're going to see if we can lower the legs by zigzagging the heels. So little heel steps, going lower every time you switch the heel. You're going to feel this start to come into the abdominals. Keep the tummy tight so that it doesn't come into your back. Go as low as you can and then up again, climbing little tiny steps. Good. Last time. Climbing up. And relax. Bring the toes together, bend the legs, hug the knees. Okay, roll yourself up to sitting. So rolling like a ball. I know that there is a few that find this one slightly difficult, slightly challenging for whatever reason. So you just got to remember a few things. You have to listen to your body. If you find an exercise during this class that isn't for you, find something else to do that your body does like, and just leave out the bits that don't work for you. It isn't always going to be tailored, you know, for a whole class of 30 people. So the reason this is good is because it tries to separate the vertebrae, tries to get those spaces back in between there that are supposed to be there as we get a little bit compressed and compacted. So articulation of the spine is what we're looking for. Control of the abdominals is key in this as well. So pushing that belly button through, first of all, pushing your lower back out, dropping the shoulders forward and making yourself as round as you can like a ball. And then find a balance point, lifting the feet up from the floor. Rolling back, drawing the abdominals up, squeezing and rolling and squeezing. Now keep that going. If you need to, have a look this way. Where am I squeezing? Right here. Lots of people say, squeeze where? Here is where you're squeezing. You're trying to lift that bottom. And then squeeze and hold. Good, just a couple more. And relax. So just taking up to another level, because this one really helps. You're going to let the legs fall open, the soles of the feet come together. Find that balance point. Remember your draw in of the navel, your rounding of the back. 3 claps of your feet. Roll and lift. 3 claps of your feet. The same squeeze when the hips are up and when you get back to the balance point. The 3 claps come once you've got control. And relax. Good job. Sitting up nice and tall, legs straight out in front. Roll down, roll up. So this is the one where if you need to, you're going to pop that roll, that towel into the small of your back, gives your lower back something to press against before the floor is actually there. It's not cheating, but you may need it. Arms forward. Push the belly button through, round, curl down through your spine, using your abdominal strength to keep it slow and steady. At the bottom, the arms go above the head, and then we lift all the way back up, trying to come through the tummy one little bit at a time like a caterpillar. Excellent. Your only aim is to try to make sure there is no change of speed throughout the whole movement. And you guys know how to make this harder. Super glue those biceps to your ears. Really use that breathing out on the way down and out on the way up. So you'll find time to breathe in at the bottom and the top. If you're still finding that when you lift, your legs come off the floor, then you're taking too much of a big piece of your tummy at once. So try to come through the tummy. If you choose a big chunk of tummy, you can't decide where it stops, and so it goes down into the fronts of your legs, hence that's why they lift. So coming through one little step at a time. The budgies are awake then. All right, last one, finish out the bottom. Good. Relax here. Every single one of us has that point, that sticky moment, that moment where if nobody was looking, you would throw your arms and get up quickly. So we're going to go find that place. Head and shoulders come off the floor, arms are just reaching forward, and then lift your upper back until you feel that place. That place that really you need to think about giving a little bit more effort to get past it. It might not be a very big place, might only be little. We're just holding and breathing and hoping that I say you can relax any second now. Good job, keep breathing. Relax. Okay. Things are always better second time round. It's a fact. So we're going to do it again. Head and shoulders lift, arms reach. Find that place. Just hold and breathe. And relax. Good job. Okay, if you've got the towel, you probably don't need it for anything else, so get rid of that. Hug the knees into the back, just give that little lower back a little release. Okay, lift the head and shoulders, come into a ball, and we're going to do double leg stretch. Extend the legs out. For an easier option, the arms will also go forward in the direction of your legs and in and out. Now you want a little bit more. Take the arms above the head. Always have that option if you need to hold the head. Last one. And relax. Rest the head on the floor. Extend the legs on the floor. Both legs out straight. Imagine you are lying in a glass casket. So you cannot take any parts of your body wider than the mat that you're lying on Lift up the right leg. Bring the leg across the body, but it's going to hit the glass and then slide down the glass. Across the top of the other foot, back into that straight position and then up. Across, round, down, straight and up. Try to control these movements. It's not about speed. Pilates was first introduced and called controlology. So the key is in the title. It is looking for you to have a connection with your body and control all the movements. Now we've got to a point now where we've done half a dozen. You might get a dull ache, as long as you're not experiencing any pain. We're going to keep going to try to strengthen these muscles. We keep this very focused in the hip joint, hence the limitation on the movement. And rest the leg now. Draw both legs in, knees to your chest. And then extend the legs. Exactly the same thing on the other side. Lift the leg, bring it across the body just slightly. It finds the glass on the side, it slides down, comes across and back up. The whole time you're moving, you're drawing those abdominals in, making sure that the work feels like it's in the front of your body and not in the back of the body. Little self-check on this one. If you feel that the butt cheek on the moving leg is lifting off the floor, then you're going across too far. But it's fairly sort of simple to envisage that glass casket and make sure that that leg doesn't go wider than the mat that you're lying on. All right, we're into strengthening. As always, if you need to stop, please do. We can do just a couple more. And relax. Rest the leg and then draw the knees to the chest. Okay. Single straight leg switch, one leg out on the floor, one leg up in the air. Don't interlock your fingers and don't pull on the joint of the knee. It will just encourage your leg to bend and then we'll lose that hamstring stretch. So you are head and shoulders lifted and trying to reach above the knee. If you can't reach there, then be happy to hold the back of the leg, but don't make the leg bend. One long exhale as you switch legs. Go. Hold that leg for about 3 seconds before you switch again using your breathing. You can still choose to do this, supporting the back of the head. You're just going to catch the leg with the one hand. You've got plenty of time to really work these legs. The leg on the floor presses into the mat. The leg coming towards you, you give a nice pull. The head and shoulders are lifted, so we have an isometric contraction of the muscles at the top of the abdominals. Keep that navel pulling down towards your spine. And relax. Rest back, hug the knees. All right, and extend the legs. We are doing teaser next. So lots of options. Most of you know them. I'm going to run through them real quick and then you're going to choose to work the hardest way possible for you, but in a safe manner. Hardest version would be arms and legs coming up together at the same time in your V-sit, or you choose a single leg and switch, or you choose bent legs double, bent leg single and switch. So whichever one you choose, away you go, nice and strong. Begin. So you're working on trying to get up at the same time. Sometimes you might notice that one gets there first and then the other comes up, all right? See if you can get them up together, even if it means that you need to reduce the option that you chose, because quality exercises at a lower level will benefit you more and give you less chance of risk of injury, right? So and it's perfectly okay to do so many that you then need to switch the level. And relax. Ideally, what we want to find is that potentially maybe today we did 8 really good ones, and then we tired so much that we had to do 4 of a slightly modified one. And then maybe next week it's 9 before you have to modify, and then the next week 10 before you have to modify. That's how you're going to get stronger, rather than risk a bad movement and or just stop when you can't get any stronger if you stop. Okay, all right, take those knees and just rock them side to side. And then roll yourself up. We're coming forward onto your mat. First exercise is the swan. So this one is a really good one for giving the abdominals a nice stretch, but also strengthening the back. If you have any back issues, you will find maybe your limit is before other people's. So listen to your body. I want you to slide your hands nice and far back. They're lower than your chest, so in line with your ribs. Okay, palms are flat, elbows are close to the body. And then we're going to breathe in. Exhale and lift the chest, pushing through the palms and then letting the hips come up off the floor. So looking forward as opposed to up in the air. We don't want that cervical spine arching that much. Control this and lower it down. A little bit of free tricep work here. Keep those elbows close until you get down to the bottom. Breathe in, exhale, lift. Now you do not have to come to straight arms if it's too much for you. Lower it down. Control in both directions. Last one, lift. And lower. Awesome job. Reach the arms forward. Legs are straight, toes are pointed. We're going to lift into dorsal raise. So lift the arms, lift the legs. This is too much. You're going to choose the arms or the legs. And lower. And lift.
and lower, and lift. Keeping the eyes looking down at the floor, keep a nice neutral spine through that neck especially, and lower. Now just a second here. We're going to lift. This time when we lift, we'll pull the elbows. Arms will bend, elbows will pull, creating contraction through the upper back. So that's happening as we lift into dorsal raise, and much more activation through the back of the body. Remember a nice big exhale. Remember to look down at the floor. Ready? And lift. Exhale, reach long and lower. Lift, pull the elbows. Toes are pointed. And lower. Lift. Lower and reach. And lift. And lower, relax. Draw those hands to the side of your chest, push away from the floor, drop back into child's pose and give me a nice long reach forward with those arms. Up to all fours. Set the quadruped. Knees hip width, hands shoulder width, directly underneath. Toes are curled under, and belly is drawn strong like somebody's about to punch you in the stomach. Brace, and now close the gap in your armpits here. So just activate your lats and close that gap. Now we're as strong as we can be. Lift your knees 1 inch from the floor. This is crouch. Breathe and hold. So here what can happen is that we start to round the back and dropping the head. So I want your focus to be your spine. Piece of string pulling through the top of that head, keeping the back flat. I'm just delaying, has anybody noticed? Breathe and hold. Awesome job. Lower the knees, soften the toes, drop to child's pose, slide the arms forward, stretch that off. Okay, back up once more, all fours, exactly the same set position with the toes held under and the abdominals nice and strong. This time we lift the hips and we lift all the way up into down dog, pressing the heels towards the floor. They might not reach, that's okay. We're going to do a little walk the dog here. So we're going to transfer the weight into one leg, bending one knee and lifting one heel, and then switching, bend the other leg, press the other leg. Breathe. So even if you can already reach the floor with your heels, you'll benefit from this just because you're able to get an extra tug. And for those that can't quite reach with their heels, this is another good flexibility exercise for the backs of the legs. For all you runners out there. And relax, bring the knees to the floor, soften the toes, child's pose. This time forehead on the floor and hands wrapped to the heels. Let's just let those shoulders rest. Okay, coming up. This gives me chance right now to give you a little bit of fun. I honestly wish I could see all of you, but I can't. So we're going to do a little exercise which is strengthening for the wrists, really engaging for the control of the core. And maybe it strengthens the mind a little bit too, because you've got to overcome some fear. I totally get it if you don't want to do this, or any of these areas of your body are going to prevent you from doing this, okay? Nice wide base with spread fingers. Come into crouch position behind your hands. Now, find the crooks of your knees with your elbows. And then this is where the fear factor comes in. You want to tip forward and find your balance point and lift your toes from the floor. Now, if you only get one toe up, that's okay. It's only week one of these. Maybe you get two toes up, but only for a split second. Or maybe you're up there having a cup of tea and this is your favorite exercise. Whatever works for you. It's about balance. It's about core strength, control, stability, definitely wrist strength. Okay. Just another few seconds of this. All right, and rest. Good job. We are coming to our side. So lying on your side, facing me. Make yourself comfortable. That doesn't mean go and get a gin and tonic. But lying on your side, glutes are engaged, hips are forward. And then you choose. You're either modifying by bending that bottom leg, or both legs are staying straight for the harder version. It's entirely up to you. Make sure the elbow is underneath the shoulder for the ideal stability point. And then focusing the core, but especially that lowest oblique. We're going to lift the hips from the floor in a nice side plank. So we're going to work the lower oblique here by hip dipping. Drop the hips, lift the hips. Drop and lift. Last one. And lower. Job. We're going to go up one more time and thread the needle. Same thing with your legs. Choose the bottom leg to be bent to modify, or straight legs. And when you're ready, lift into side plank. Now bring that top arm forward, around, underneath the armpit, push it back and back to the top. You've got two more. Forward, slow, steady, controlled. Last one. Good, relax. Come off the elbow. Palm on the floor is up to the ceiling. And the arm is an extension of the shoulder. So it's straight up, trying not to bring it forward, which will help to stabilize you. You're on your side. You need to try and stay on your side. Remember, if you've got bony hips or something, maybe you need a little towel there to cushion. Bring that top arm up, bring the palms together, and now lift the legs and the arms from the floor. Lift them up so you are literally balancing on your torso, trying to get that bottom armpit up if you can. It'll have you wobbling a little bit. That's all good. We want that. And you're using your tummy to stabilize. If you did manage to roll back here onto your butt cheek and you're not moving, get off your butt cheek and relax. Let's switch sides. Into those hip dips first. Glutes engaged, hips forward, nice straight line with your legs. that elbow set underneath the shoulder. Bottom leg bent is your option. Lift into side plank. So whether you've got two straight legs or one bent leg, I'm going to show you the modified version this time. And we lower and lift. Hips drop, hips lift. You move the same muscles. You just put a little bit more demanding through the shoulders if you've got straight legs. Good job. Last one. And relax. When I say relax, not too much. Okay, side plank, same set position. Come on up into side plank. Straight legs or one bent leg. 3 thread the needles, let's go. Around, underneath, push it, release, roll back. Slow and steady. There's only 3, we've got to make them good ones. The last one. Excellent. Lower the hips. Come off that elbow. Down, laying on your side. Palm up, spare hand comes up and over, palms come together. Then lift the legs and lift the arms. Should immediately feel pretty unstable. And you're going to use your tummy to stabilize and stop you from rolling. Pretty hard to get this down so you don't move. So if you're not moving, there's something wrong. And relax. Awesome job. Okay, come to your back. Head and shoulders lifted from the floor. Eyes looking through your knees. 3 baby pulses of the fingertips to the floor. So don't make number 1 so big that you can't get in a 2 and a 3, because we're trying to push in 3 stages. When you finish the exercise, you come back to here, not to here, because if you come all the way down here, you've got all that tension to lift the head up. Okay, so stay lifted, even if it means that you pop one hand behind the head. 3 little taps of fingertips with 3 breaths. Ready? Go. Last one. And relax. Hug those knees into your chest. Okay. And we will have the legs at tabletop position. So if in tabletop it doesn't feel like work, I want you to have a little check of your leg position, okay? Because you might think you're in tabletop when your legs are here, which is a little closer to my chest, and definitely everything relaxed a little when I did that movement. So the knees need to be directly above the hips. The lower leg creating a 90-degree angle parallel to the floor. And then you brace that tummy to make sure that you can't feel it in your lower back. Nice and gently drop the right heel to the floor, hinging at the hip only. Bring it back and switch sides. Good. If this doesn't feel like a lot of work for your lower abdominals, you need to check those leg positions. It's quite often when I come around in class and just have a little check of everybody and give you pointers, but of course I can't see you. Well, some of you. So your focus is to make sure it feels a lot like work here. Keep that imprint, keep the belly button pulling down to keep the back safe. Use your breathing as you find it hard work. Last one. Draw the knees to the chest. All right, one more exercise before Pilates 100. So I want you to bring your hands together like you've got a book in front of you. You're going to open up your book. Then you're going to send those arms and legs out. How low you go is up to you. And then you're going to bring them back in and close your book. So out and extend, in and close. When you extend the arms, keep them nice and strong with those palms always facing up to the ceiling. And of course, your option is to go a little higher with those legs to reduce the intensity. One more time. And relax. So just give you a few seconds. Everybody on here has done lots of Pilates 100 before. So we'll just set up together and go into it. I want your main focus today to be how much you're connecting to your belly button. Focus on that imprint, that pulling of the navel, and stay nice and strong throughout. All right, last working exercise. Head and shoulders lifted, arms long and strong. Chin tucked, eyes looking through the knees. Choose your legs. Know that there are options. 5 breaths in, 5 breaths out. 100, begin. And relax. Rest back, relax the neck. Awesome job. Loose grip on the fronts of the knees and a small circle. Obviously, mild discomfort is okay, pain is not. Make it bigger if it feels good. Find the center, circle the other way. And a little bigger. Good. And relax, find the center. Take the arms a little wide of the body. If you've got any lower back issues, don't cross your legs, keep them side by side. But if you're okay, cross one over the other. Use your abdominal strength to lower those knees across to one side, trying to keep the shoulders on the floor. If that's enough, stay here. If you want a little more, turn your head away from the direction of the knees. Relax, breathe, enjoy that lower back stretch. And eyes and knees to the ceiling. If you're crossing them, cross them the other way. Lower to the other side, keeping those shoulders on the floor. Once you get down the bottom, decide if you want that extra little look of the head. Breathe, relax. Eyes and knees to the ceiling. Uncross the legs and roll yourself up to sitting. Awesome job. We're all done. Well done. Thanks for joining me. If you've got to run off, have a fabulous day. If you want to stay briefly for a chat, I'll see you when all your mics and videos